and to benefit more.
We're staying in Enugu State, where the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has advocated for holistic contributions from all stakeholders in Nigeria to deepen the country's democracy. He made the assertion at the maiden edition of the former Nigeria Lawmakers Conference in Enugu State. This is a conference of legislatures from local governments, states and National Assembly. The convener of the conference says that is asking former and serving members to institute a unique framework that can engage former lawmakers for developmental purposes. Let's bring in the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, to tell us how important and sustainable this initiative is to Nigeria's democracy. It's good to have you join us on the News at 10.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, a lot seems to be happening in Enugu State today. First, you had your maiden conference for former lawmakers, and then we saw the APC's meeting hold there, just like we heard the Imo State governor, of course, speak with us. But let's focus on the conference. I want to ask what inspired you to organize this conference, and what do you hope to achieve from it?
Thank you very much. What I hope to achieve with this conference is to give sense of relevance in our efforts towards nation building, to be felt by those who have contributed in advancing our democracy. That's the legislators across the nation. Oftentimes, the taxpayers' money will be used to build capacity in these legislators who, unlike other climes where they stay for a very long time, 2 decades, 3 decades, they thin out. The attrition rate is high. And so when they transition into the next phase of their life, they don't know how to manage that. And the country, on the other hand, loses the capacity that have been built with taxpayers' money. The question becomes, how do we bring them closer towards contributing to national growth? And I said, just like what we have in the US, for former legislators, what we have in Brazil, what we have in South Africa, what we have in the UK, for members of the parliament after leaving office. Let us put that into place in Nigeria, where we will have a forum where we will take care of one another and have one another take care of issues affecting the nation in terms of contribution to policy framing, in terms of amendment of our laws, in terms of grooming new lawmakers. What happened just recently, we had high attrition rate, and some of them needed more mentorship. And so just like what they contribute in the US, in building a democracy, we want former legislators to be given that sense of relevance where it is not, said, oh, we are done with nation building, we have nothing to contribute again. We'll bring them closer and give them assignment, just like we have at other places.
I just want to clarify.
What actually?
Yeah, I just want to clarify this. Is this some sort of political move to make the APC dominant in the Southeast? Because we saw you at both meetings.
The first one had to do with my career at the moment as a legislator, and it's bipartisan. It has nothing to do with a political party. In fact, all over the world where you have former legislators forum, it cuts across political parties. It's not just what a particular political party belongs to. So it's not about that. It's about strengthening our legislator and leveraging the knowledge base that have been accumulated over the years by these seasoned legislators who are no longer occupying those positions at the moment.
You also talked about.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, I'm just going to allow you finish your thoughts, really.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at 4, imperatives, for this organization. We're looking at pension security. Unlike what you have in the US and South Africa, where there is a provision for that, none is existing in Nigeria. We're going to look at it, research on it, and know whether it will be applicable in Nigeria, so that those who have served the government, in that capacity, unlike the other arms of government, the judiciary, the executive, when they go home, that is something to fall back to. There are structures in other climes to take care of those who have served government at that level. But in Nigeria, it's non-existent. So we're going to be looking at that, and we're also going to be looking at the holistic welfare of the members in politically, socially, and economically, trying to help one another, because there's never been any forum where past legislators gathered to share experiences, share contributions and views with regards to what is happening in the country. We're also looking at the institutionalization of expertise, from former legislators. We're trying to build what we call a knowledge bureau to document legislative best practices and launch congressional study groups on critical issues in our economy, like security, like foreign policy, trade. So it's going to be a platform. And also we're going to look at, are there privileges, facilities that will be accessible to the former members? Can they have access to National Assembly Library? Can they have access to National Assembly parking? Can they have right of access to, sections? All those kind of things. And we're going to look at them and see, is there a possibility for them to have post-tenure transition, like structures like healthcare insurance? What can we do to make sure that these ones remain relevant and and contributes to the growth of our nation? So that was what informed this.
Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Well, you're still watching TVC News.